Yeah, I think we have gone live. You can also see the.
Yeah, I can see it's turning into red and time.
Awesome. How are you, doctor?
I'm doing very good, thanks, Shobhit. I hope same with you.
Yeah, yeah, same, same. Which part of Bangalore do you live?
Shobhit, I'm not sure if it's lag from your side. Your video is lagging for
Can
me,
you can you hear me now?
and your voice is laggy. Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, maybe some patchy internet. I don't know. Bangalore is not being kind in terms of network speeds for last few days. But
Yeah,
which part of Bangalore you are in?
it's still happening, but
Oh,
mine is
okay.
clear, right, from my side.
I can hear you. Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
but your voice and video is there's a lag. I don't know if it's same for Nupur also. It's just for me.
Um, Let me connect to a different network. Just a second.
Your screen's getting frozen on and off.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, okay. Maybe some issue with my network. So, which part of Bangalore are you in, doctor?
I live in Baswangudi, Chamrajpet. Maybe you can call Baswangudi. It's a whole Bangalore, very
Okay.
close to Bangalore Medical College. If that could be a landmark.
Hmm. Good, good. Nice. So, maybe we'll wait for a couple of minutes for people to join in
Yeah.
as we would.
Yeah.
But
I think it's better than before, but still there is a
there's
one
some lag.
second lag with your video. Yeah,
Oh,
your voice is
that's
coming through, but your video gets frozen and then moves suddenly.
maybe let me again rejoin my Wi-Fi network. I don't know. This is little. Yeah, I hope this is better now. Hello.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I can see you.
Okay, it's better now. Can you hear me as well? I
Yeah, your voice is clear, but video is getting frozen again. But can you see mine going okay? I just want to make sure it's not your net or my net.
uh, I will. Yeah, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I can see you
Yeah.
and I can hear you as well. But yeah, it's little grainy from my side. Maybe okay. Cool, cool. I think people have also joined it. So hi everyone. Maybe we'll wait for one more minute for people to join. Uh, but in the meantime, thanks for taking out
Yeah.
time and being here. Uh, in the meantime, would be good to kind of get a sense that if uh, you are a parent of a kid living with diabetes, maybe just type in the chat box what is the age of the child. Is there any challenge that you feel that comes in terms of giving your child more control in managing diabetes. We can make this session more interactive, and please put your comments or questions. I'll try and incorporate that in the session. I think, yeah, people are also responding. So cool, cool. Maybe we'll start, Doctor.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine.
Awesome. Awesome. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Blue Circle Workshop. I'm Shobhit. We are so glad to have you here with us today. I've been living with type 1 diabetes for last 20 years. And in fact, I just completed my anniversary, and I'm a proud member of Blue Circle community. These workshops happen every Sunday without fail and have been running for around quite some time, around 2 years plus, and we have conducted around 250 workshops. Uh, each one is focused on diabetes and related topics. And what makes them really special is that they are run by people who are themselves living with type 1 diabetes. So all of us can relate to it. And when we say diabetes, it's like type 1, type 2, LADA, gestational, all of them put together. For those of you who are new, Blue Circle Diabetes is India's largest patient-led inclusive community for people living with diabetes. Um, Everyone is welcome here, and we are so happy that you have joined us today. Uh, so today we are diving into something that's rarely talked about enough, which is basically how to hand over the reins of diabetes care from parents to children living with diabetes. And we couldn't have found a better person to talk about it. So today we have Dr. Santhosh Olety with us, who is a leading pediatric and adolescent endocrinologist with qualifications including MBBS, DCH, uh, MRCP, CPCH, and SCE in endocrinology and diabetes from the UK. And before shifting to India, actually, basis what I was interacting with him, he was in UK. Currently, he's associated with KIER as HOD, and also consults at Sankara Cancer Hospital and White Lotus Healthcare and Cloud9 Hospital. Dr. Olety has also authored a self-management book handbook for families dealing with type 1 diabetes, and is also actively involved in national education program like Ideal and Best. He's also a founder of a benevolent fund that supports family of children with type 1 diabetes. So, Dr. Santosh, we are thrilled to have you here and really looking forward to the conversation. In fact, I met Dr. Santosh at one of the events, and was mightily impressed by the kind of work he's doing at KIER, and went back to Nupur that possibly we should have a session with him, and Nupur immediately agreed. So thrilled to have this conversation with you, Dr. Santosh.
Uh, Thanks a lot for that kind introduction, Mr. Shobhit. And thanks to Blue Circle Diabetes Foundation, the founder Nupur, and all the members who are working for the foundation for doing the excellent work to support and empower the type 1 diabetes community. So these sessions really help the community to overcome the challenges psychosocially. And it's my pleasure to join this event and share my thoughts with all the parents and the whoever is watching this event today or later. And good evening to all of you for spending your time to join us as well. So thanks for that introduction. And yes, I did. Uh, I do work for a government institute. It's called Karnataka Institute of Endocrinology and Research. It is a state-funded autonomous institute, one of the unique and first of its kind in entire India, I would say, where there is an exclusive campus for managing people who have problems with hormone issues. In medical terms, we call endocrine system, and half of our work is with diabetes. So I would really love my institute because being a government institute, it provides a holistic, comprehensive diabetes care at a very cost effective price, keeping in mind we achieve the equity and sustainability
Hmm.
as our goals, so that we try to provide access to everybody, rich, poor, middle class, everybody who works it. So the model works very well, and our institute been around 15 years old now. But recently we moved to a new campus 3 years back. That's where you visited, and it's
Hmm.
one of the well planned institute, and giving much amenities to the public to utilize our services. And that's about my institute. And you already told about my background. Yes, I did my pediatric training from Chennai. I did my medical school from Kolar, close to Bangalore. And after my pediatric training, I did go to UK, spent around 10 years there, during which I did my MRCPCH training, and also a part of
Hmm.
some of the years I did my endocrine training before returning to India. And since I returned to India, I've been working with Institute as full-time clinician. Plus, I do visit as a work as a visiting consultant for a few corporate hospitals. But government work is my
Hmm.
primary, and that is what I enjoy the most.
Hmm. No, and I remember the number of kids enrolled there is, I think, how many? 1,300, 1,400 kids, right?
Yeah,
Enrolled.
we have totally around children with diabetes, both type 1, type 2, and other rare types of diabetes. Close to 1,500 children being registered with us for last 10 years, since we started exclusive pediatric services. When I started working, we started the pediatric services. From then, I think initially we had around 40, 50 children visiting us, but over the time we have grown, we have won the trust from the public, and hoping that we are doing good service to them. People started coming to our center and utilizing our services. So as of now, we stand around 1,500.
Hmm. Hmm. No, so as I was saying, that's a massive experience that you have on this topic, right? So maybe without delaying any further, we can straight away dive into the discussion. So, and if anyone has any question, please feel free to put it in the chat. I will try and incorporate that in the question as soon as possible. Um, so, Doctor, when we were discussing about this topic, I really like the way you described how we can discuss this, right? Like why, uh, how, and what, right? So that's
That's
the
right.
best way for people to, like understand, like because until unless they understand why, they will not know, right? They will not be motivated to get into it. So, like maybe we can start with why, right? First, that why do family parents need to think about transition of diabetes care to their child, right? What is the why should it?
Before I answer that question, I just want to acknowledge a small gesture to all the parents who are caregivers, who are tremendously carrying the responsibility,
Hmm.
whom we see as unsung heroes, right? They
Hmm.
are real heroes who give a lot of time for the child's care, monitoring, being
Yeah.
vigilant, doing all the work. I think I really, convey my salutations to them, because they are the heroes, and they are the actually the children and parents are actual teachers for clinicians, because we learn a
Hmm.
lot from them. Along with our clinical background, we learn a lot of psychosocial skills by talking to them and learning from them. So I do, respect for this.
Hmm.
So coming to our topic about transition of diabetes care from parent to child. Well, all parents, most of the parents find it very hard to let it go to, let the responsibility leave them and go to the child. They're very so apprehensive with that. But why this should happen? For few reasons. One, it's a developmental imperative, which means it's a natural, physiological, necessary step in everybody's life. Not only children with diabetes, in any child, as they grow, they need to have independence. That's natural, and that's how we are created to be. So we need to let them have their independence as they reach certain age. Second is empowerment and self efficacy. So empowerment is a process where we foster independence, and at the same time making sure we won't compromise with the continued optimal health case. And thirdly, we are preparing them for future, like readiness to enter into adulthood, where they have to take care of themselves. Either they will have to move to university, career, they move from one city to other city where they'll be alone. So we need to prepare them to face those challenges as they grow up. So it is very crucial, although it is challenging, but we need to help them navigate this process, which is the, uh, I think, essential part of our care.
Hmm. No, fair. As in, diabetes is something that, like you have to live with going forward, right? So it's something that kids should get accustomed to as soon as possible. I actually got diabetes when I was 17. So I was at that age where I felt that I need liberation, and suddenly diabetes happened. So I can relate to some of what you are saying. So yeah, makes sense. There is one uh, viewer, Akshata Kiran. I think they recently took your like consultation and are quite happy. So just wanted to pass that to you. I think they just
Thanks for joining, Akshata and family.
awesome. So, and doctor, like, so let's say once there is some clarity that I need to take this step, how, like, do you plan the timing of the transition, right? When should parents start thinking about transitioning care responsibility with their child? Are there some signs, stages that they should look at?
Shobhit, I think this transition process is quite complex. It's not like white and black. Just it's not. It's a very slow, gradual process which evolves over years. So it's not just one switch over from today to tomorrow your transition. It's a
Hmm.
gradual process, and I think it takes over time. Uh, and Preparing both parent and child is very crucial here in terms of education, because they need to have a very solid diabetes education. Only then they will understand the process of transition and a safe, a smoother transition. So that is what we're going to try to provide them. And I can, to make it simplify, we can look at transition period over three categories or four categories. So you can look at childhood, where around 3 to 6 years, school going age around 7 to 12 years, and early adolescent from 13 to 15 years, and 16 and above is your late adolescence.
Hmm.
So the process starts right from the day of diagnosis. So parents has to include the child in the management. They can't be manager throughout their life. So, for example, if we are talking about a ch- early childhood, 3 to 6 years,
Hmm.
what is parents' role? What is child's role? And what we need to do? I would say a parent will be a manager for that age group, which means the parent manages everything. But there is certain role for the child in this age group.
Hmm.
People might say 3 to 6 years. What role can they do? They don't, they're not mature enough to think. But there are certain simple things we can achieve. For example, we can give the choice to the child to choose which site they need to inject. We
Hmm.
can give this choice for the child to choose which finger they want to be pricked to check the blood sugar. They can have food choices, and they can also have to learn how it feels to have a high sugar or low sugar. They should at least understand the feeling. So
Hmm.
these are the three things I think we expect a child to know. By giving the choices to the child feels a part of the management. It's
Hmm.
not that just somebody is dictating and you do this, you do that. And by doing this, I think it will really build up their confidence and take some, ownership right from that age. And this is what I think we try to expect in this school going age. When we move further, say school age, sorry, that was the childhood. School age
Mm,
is around 7 to 12 years. Here, the parent's role should shift a little bit. From being
mm,
a manager, a parent has to become a supervisor. So,
mm,
which means you supervise, but also allow the child to do a little bit more than what he or she been doing.
mm,
Supervisor, and you can say a mentor, anything like that.
mm,
The child's role here, let the child learn a simple carbohydrate counting, understand different types of food, what is good food, what is not, unhealthy, what is healthy food, healthy snacks, not healthy snacks,
mm,
and also trying to gather these supplies. So it doesn't mean that mother has to pack all the dietary supplies to the school. Child can get involved. You can ask child, bring the
yeah,
lancing device, bring your glucometer, bring your insulin, pack it in your bag, bring your hypo kit. So let the child start doing those things. And also, child at this age, we expect the child to dial the insulin dose, show the parent that this is what they have dialed, and maybe as later ages they can also learn to push the plunger so that insulin can be delivered, and they can also start using the glucometer. A lot of them learn using glucometer by 7 to 8 years, and probably some do learn earlier than that.
mm,
But again, children, again, they have different levels of maturity. You can say emotional maturity or social maturity. So some children are very good. They take on the responsibility right from early with support, obviously support and guidance from us and peer support. But we also see children who are 13, 14 still depending on parents for sugar check, for insulin injection. They don't want to take ownership. They're very
mm,
reluctant, very scared, or very, they feel less confident.
mm,
So I think our approach will be customizing as per the child's needs, as per the parents' mindset. So I think it's, as I said, it's not a one size which fits everybody. We just need to understand their attitude, confidence, background. Then we customize the transition process to them. I'll
mm.
just give a break so that if there's anything we can discuss, I can talk about the early adolescent and later adolescent in a while.
No, I think maybe if
If there's
has
any,
a sorry, go ahead. If anyone has a question,
sure.
please. Sorry, there is some lag, doctor. Hello. Maybe you can go ahead, doctor.
Okay. Okay. I had difficulty in following your voice, but anyway, I understood. I can go ahead.
So, sorry, what I was saying is that your
So when it
analogy
comes
of
to early adult,
go ahead.
okay, fine. So in early adolescent is where you're talking about a child who is around 13 to 15 years. I think this is the age where a lot of children will start expecting independence, want to, move away from the parental shadow, which is quite natural. This is where a lot of parent-child conflict happens. If they don't understand the transition process, either parent is overprotecting or the child is not ready to take the ownership. So either way, it can happen now. But in a child, early adolescent, the parent we expect to for them to become a mentor or a guide rather than a supervisor. So they just have to step back rather than standing or holding the child. They need to step back and stand behind the child. Let the child take initiative about managing their injections, managing their blood sugar checks, and also trying to understand the glucose patterns, what it means, their daily glucose logs, whether they understanding the concept of correction doses, and also a bit more well versed with the carbohydrate counting and making sure snacks are covered with the insulin. and also have a clear communication with the care team. I mean, sometimes they can contact for appointments, whatever it is, the whatever they regularly how they do fixing the appointment. They are also expected to know the symptoms of hypo and hyperglycemia and action to be taken even in the absence of parent. I mean, parents are there to supervise, but the child, we expect the child to take more ownership during this age group. When they reach late adolescent, like 16 and plus, this is where I think we almost consider them like a adult.
Hmm.
Parent is also adult, child is also adult. It's like adult relation rather than a child and a parent relation. So parents here becomes emotional support, emergency backup. So no manager, no supervisor, just be a emotional support and a emergency backup. Let the child make decisions. Here we expect the child to learn critical life skills, how to manage, look after themselves when they have hyperglycemia, and planning sick days, how to manage themselves during when they fall sick, how to manage themselves during traveling. So these are the skills I think we expect them. And also coming to clinic, let parent be quiet, let the child speak. That is what we
Hmm.
expect this at this stage. We don't want parents to talk every or throughout the consultation. We want the child to lead the consultation. Then parent be just a bystander and just give inputs as and when required. I think this is what we in realistic world, but sometimes the timeline can shift either way depending upon their emotional maturity and confidence levels, and how parenting skills also matters a lot. So these are the various age groups where we look and try to follow the plan.
No, I loved your analogy of being a manager, supervisor, mentor, and then, more like an emergency backup. Very interesting analogy. And more like giving control to child as in when they are going from one stage to another, right? And then making them more independent. And I think this is also very relevant that every child and every parent is a different parent. And, it's a very complex thing. You can't force fit everything, depends on a lot of
Yeah,
factors. Uh, Fair. And as a parent of a 5-year old, I can imagine the maturity levels. I think with every 5 years, it's increasing. Like
changes. Yeah.
old 5 years back was versus what they will be 10 years down the line will be very different, I think, right? So, um, completely understand. So, doctor, like you are going through these stages, what are some, like challenges in transition that you feel will happen? Because each of these transition step is also resulting into, more ownership and freedom being passed to a child, right? And parents are always in this conflict of handling too much or too little, right? So, any experiences from you or any guidance from you that how should parents look at this?
So see, as long you start priming them from early, say when they usually in transition, we talk about 18 years in Indian scenario because that is where the clinical definition anywhere between 16 to 18 years we look that age group as growing out from being a child to a young adult or something like that. But if you start preparing them maybe 1 or 2 years before you do your transition and make them understand, okay, this is what is the process. It is a slow process. You have to go through a lot of skill building capacity for both parents and child to avoid conflict between them and to achieve a smooth transition. Because achieving a smooth transition, there's a lot of I would
Hmm.
say a clinical experience, what we have seen over years, while managing a lot of different kinds of families, those
Hmm.
families who achieve a smooth transition, the children seem to have a very good long-term glycemic effect, better quality of life, and better confidence in managing themselves, and less diabetic distress for the parents also. So the barriers, I would say, a lot of psychosocial barriers, They can be from either from the parent or from the child. When we are talking about a parent, first of all, fear of letting it go. I mean, any parent is so difficult. Suddenly, you say you stop caring for your child, let the child care for you. It's very difficult to digest and accept it. So it is a process. So we need to give them time to really understand that and let it happen. So either it could be fear of letting it go. They might be scared that child may end up in severe hypoglycemia. They might be worried that child may end up having diabetes, burnt out, burnt out.
Hmm.
So from looking at a child's point, child may think, okay, me taking ownership, am I going to be isolated from
Hmm.
parents? So we need to make them understand independence does not mean isolation. It means you are taking more ownership, but your parents, your clinicians are still there behind you to support and supervise you. Let the process happen. At some point, you might not need us also. So we'll wait till that point comes. Or the child may be worried making mistakes. Okay, all this time my mother was helping. Right now, if I make any mistakes, what will happen? How will my parents trust me if
Hmm.
I keep on making mistakes? So we
Hmm.
need to make them understand mistakes will happen. No human being is perfect. And our goal in this process is independence, not perfection. Perfection will come with mistakes and learning from mistakes. So, this is what we need to make them observe this process.
Hmm. Hmm. No, completely makes sense, right? As in, but like, how do you, how like it might be tough basis your clinical experiences, but like any emotional setbacks that happen, and like how do parents deal with those setbacks, right? Because uh, children would go through, as you said, right, like they may make mistakes, right? And as a parent, I also struggle to manage that thin line between giving independence and giving like controlling on what is not right for my child, what bases me, right? So how do you look at that, and any advice on that specific?
Now, I'll give you some example just to relate
Hmm.
to this. I got a boy who's been diagnosed 2 years back. He's now 14 years. He was diagnosed around 11, 12 years.
Hmm.
Even after 2 years of diagnosis, he's 14. He still not learned how to give his injections on his own at school.
Hmm.
So that's again, is really disappointing for us to see a 14-year-old child not giving. Parents are really in cry. I have to go to school, give number of counseling sessions to the child, trying to build his confidence, trying to win his trust. He's still reluctant, scared. So we are still counseling him. So this is one extreme. There are children who've been diagnosed from age 2 or 3. When they reach 6 or 7 years, at that young age, they're so bold. They do give injections themselves. They do check their blood sugars themselves. Only thing you have to dial the dose and give to them. They know how to prick and how to push the plunger. So there's a wide, different
Hmm.
uh, category of people with different caliber skills. Recently, this is just 2 or 3 days back. I have a girl who's 20 years now. She's been having type 1 diabetes for past 8 years. She's on automation insulin pump. Overprotective parents. 2 days back, father called me saying she has uh, intentionally dosed 20 units
Oh.
to make her to harm herself. So what should we do? Because she might end up hypo. So we have to advise her, monitoring blood sugar and trying to give some carbohydrates just to keep a close watch. But then we're trying to find out what is the root cause. So there was an argument between the parents and the child. And the child, she's very nice, very calm and polite child, but even I was surprised such a child can think about harming herself because I had a conflict with the parent. So it was as you said, emotional step back, but I've asked them to come and meet me so that here I would like to find the root cause for that. What triggered her to do this? whether parents were overprotective and not letting her to have more freedom, and this is what triggered her. So I think meeting and trying to understand and see how we can help the situation and make them understand. She's 20 years. We need to let her, you know, do more independence on her own decision making. So I think these are some of the things. I mean, there are quite a lot of examples about transition process challenges, but these are the things which comes to my mind right now.
No, no, I can imagine the complexity, right? The three examples that you mentioned are so different, right? And this is more of a counseling apart from knowing what to do, right? Apart more than the knowledge, it's also like counseling and being aware about both what emotions parents are going through and children are going through, right? And then making them comfortable with this makes sense. I think you are being praised by a lot of people who have come to your clinic. Deepti, Sayyed, they have been, I think, talking about the good consultation you have been giving them. There is one question from Shahid. He is mentioning that, their child refuses to eat after injecting insulin, and sugars fasting sugar also shoots up to 450 thrice a week. Well, I think you may need more information, but uh, maybe it's more about a child,
I see
going.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So any thoughts from you, doctor, on this?
See, it's quite common. The toddlers or the early childhood, where their eating habits are erratic. It's very difficult to expect that age to have a very disciplined, time limit of eating insulin. It doesn't work like a machine. I mean, every day is a different challenge. Sometimes they eat more, sometimes they eat less, sometimes they refuse to eat after insulin. I think these are all common, and most of who are
Mm,
working in this field, either parents or the clinicians, we face these problems, and it is very challenging not only for clinicians, for the parents also. But one of the solutions we can say is, okay, in such exceptional circumstances, you can think about faster acting insulins, which there's some evidence to show even immediately after eating you can give insulin, but only exceptional circumstances. I don't advise that as a regular thing, but when you feel your child might not eat for that day, behavior is different, you can wait till the child finishes based on how much part or the portion of the meal the child is eating, then you can inject immediately after it. That's one way of doing it. But there's so many ways, parenting skills about playful eating, making the child win the confidence, all those. A lot of things are there where it can work some days, it might not work for some days. And one common thing parents started doing is giving the mobile and playing videos for a small child,
mm,
to negotiate with the child. Okay,
yeah.
you watch this for 10 minutes, but you have to make sure you eat the meal. So I we know we don't encourage children to watch these devices screen time, but I also feel sorry, that sometimes they end up doing this because that will
Yeah.
be a last resort they'll find it to overcome that challenge. But yeah, I don't know what's right or wrong there, but yeah, these are the things which we come across.
No, I think, Shahid, I think you got some advices from doctor, but please reach out to him or your own endocrinologist for more
Yeah.
details. Yeah. Um,
And all those who are saying, who are appreciating our service, the credit goes to our institute, our team, my colleagues, my exceptionally brilliant educators who are doing all the work, counseling and education. They are the support pillars of our department. So the credit goes to them. I mean, we are doing just our clinician work, but it's a team collective effort. So thanks for that appreciation. It just gives us more energy to do more, uh, you know, s- work improving our services to them.
no, no, as in Dr. Santosh, what you're doing is brave, right? As in, I was telling you before the call itself that you have taken a non-traditional path. So, really appreciate the kind of work you're doing. And I think very evident from how people are talking about it. Um, um, so, we were also talking about tools and technology, right? I think while it was on the
Yeah.
negative side, but maybe trying to understand any tool technology which helps in this transition, especially with like monitoring, control, independence, that you would recommend people to check if that is relevant for their use case.
Yeah. So again, when we talk about technology and tools, everything has a price. So we need to think about financial background. Assuming a family is affordable for these tools, if they're affordable, I would strongly suggest continuous glucose monitor, which is which has been available in our country for last decade or so, and it has made a drastic transformation in how we manage our diabetes, trying to understand our glucose profile throughout the day, 360 degrees of understanding. And nowadays you have this sensor which you can partner the through the cloud. You can partner to different devices, to the parents' devices. So whatever happens to the child's glucose profile, you'll get alarm or notification to the parents even at the distant when they're at home. So this will give a lot of confidence, peace of mind for the parents. So
Mm,
when they have little less anxiety, less diabetic, distress about the child, I think they will start taking it one step back, allow the child to manage themselves because they know that they're watching what's happening right from distance. So I think this will be a great tool if it is cost effective for the family and if they can invest their money. But I would say it is really worth investing in continuous glucose monitor. But in India, we do see a lot of families who come under poverty, below poverty line. So I think it's probably not the right expenses for to invest money, but at least glucometer and
mm,
checking regular on glucometer might be the best option for them. I'm sure there are so many other apps which is coming through, and I don't have any particular choice. But I think as long people understand the use of app and put the app into good use, I'm sure any technology will be helpful. And in next few years, a lot of AI, AI is is just becoming running so fast in last 2 years. Generative AI. I'm sure people are working. A lot of teams are working on using the AI technology into diabetes management, and we would see a lot of things coming out to help the diabetes. Not specific to type one, any type of diabetes. So we'll look forward, keep our fingers crossed, and look forward what new comes, which will be really impactful in our management at a cost effective price.
mm, mm. No, we do hope that the devices and all of that become cheaper with time. So let's hope that becomes the case and people get access to those
Yeah.
tools. I think there is one question around, like uh, that glucose doesn't spike at home with the same meal, but it spikes at school. Any reasons why it may be the case?
Okay, we need a lot of discussion on this. It's not an easy thing
Yes.
to answer, but a couple of things could happen is uh, if the timing of the insulin and the meal, if they're not maintaining the time gap, depending upon whether they're using analog or conventional insulin, because analog usually we say 10-15 minutes, conventional insulin we say 30 minutes. If they're not matching that insulin and timing of action of insulin and the meal intake, this can happen. Second is if they have a lot of protein or fat composition in their meal, it can shoot, the sugars can shoot up 2 or 3 hours later. So that could be another possibility. But we need to get our dietitians, input and see what is the meal composition, whether we can make some changes or the sequence of eating the food. Trying to have fiber or protein initially, then the carbs later. And sometimes if the child's activities, in the school or during the break, sometimes the activities can shoot up your sugars levels. So when you check before lunch, your sugars will be high. That might not be because of your insulin or meal match. It might be because of the activity.
Mm,
So I think it needs a bit more comprehensive data to understand this child's. So I would suggest them to meet their endocrinologist or the clinicians who are looking after and possibly discuss all these aspects to see. how we can help this situation.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. And it also might be the case that sharing of tiffin, all of that might
Yeah,
also be the
yeah,
reality. You can't
yeah.
monitor these in school. Yeah,
Children will be children. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh, okay, so there is, yeah. So, maybe we can, I felt that maybe we can do a quick rapid fire with you since, doctor, you are here.
Sure.
We can put you on the hotspot. So, what's your favorite myth about diabetes that needs to go?
Right. Okay. This is very common. I think most of us face this question from parents. Whenever we suggest, okay, insulin is the lifeline for your child, we need to start insulin, and child needs to stay on insulin throughout the life as of now, because we have no better option to manage the blood sugars in a child with type 1 diabetes. The common question again and again, even if it is second visit, a third visit, a fourth visit, this keeps on popping up. Doctor, is there insulin has got side effects? Is it safe for continue the insulin? Which means they're thinking giving insulin will make a child dependent on insulin, like the insulin addiction.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
does the insulin have side effects?
Hmm.
So again, that puts us off, because in spite of us making trying to make them understand how insulin works, why they need insulin, somewhere they get confused with a lot of fake videos,
Hmm.
misinformation in the media, neighbor or family members, or given false information. They keep coming back and asking the same question. So I think they need to understand insulin doesn't have side effect. Insulin is not I mean, like they ask, does insulin damage the kidneys, insulin damage the liver? So it doesn't damage anything, it doesn't have any side effects. It just needs to have a precision of insulin, accuracy of dosing. That's all we
Hmm.
have to achieve. Yesterday, I was attending the glucose goddess, the human, we had from
Hmm.
one of our communities. There she was saying, it was hilarious what she said. Is there a side effect of insulin? She said, people don't die. That is a side effect. So that's a hilarious way of, but yeah,
Hmm.
it just made me laugh yesterday.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. One snack that you would recommend every uh, kid living with type 1 diabetes or other type of diabetes to keep in their bag.
Okay, the two different situations snack.
Hmm.
One for your regular snack, one for your hypo snack.
Hmm.
There are so many options, but I would give what I prefer. A regular snack for a child, any fruit of their choice, or roasted chana, roasted peanut, which is easy to carry, doesn't have, there's no wetness, you don't need to carry, it can stay for long, it doesn't get perished or anything. So a chana, roasted peanuts, or a fruit of their choice, that's for regular snack. But when you are talking about hypo, I would prefer chicky. I don't know if is that's what you call chicky also, the jaggery with peanut. They make
Uh,
small blocks of
yeah, chicky or yeah, that peanut and good or something like that.
jaggery.
Yes.
Yeah, provided we give the right portion size of that for the appropriate child, I would feel that will be a great choice, because it's got sugar, fat with the peanuts, and so I would like that as an preferred snack for during hypo. Obviously, your sugars needs to be there for immediate action, but following the sugar, some snack.
Okay. One habit you would love every, like any parent to drop starting today.
Okay, so this is very natural human instinct or human behavior, and same thing applies to parent. Whenever parents come to meet me, obviously, there are a lot of things to discuss with me. They always start with complaining about the child. He or she doesn't do this. They don't
Hmm.
do this. Don't follow my instruction. They're not very cooperative. They don't listen to me. Well, there are a lot of complaints. But I would say parents start with positives. Say that, okay, today is he or she has done this. I really appreciate that. Even the small things, let us appreciate, and celebrate those small achievements for the child. It just builds up their confidence. Then let the negatives and comes and what concerns you have to discuss. I think that is where the child will probably start accepting their wrongs and try to put more effort to be a better person than what they are. So I would request parents, whenever you talk to somebody about your child, start with positives, then let your concerns and complaints come as the later bit.
Hmm. One sentence that describes a kid living with type 1 diabetes his or her life.
You mean the teen or the kid?
Uh, teen, yeah, teen. You said, the last two stages, maybe
Okay,
then.
adolescent.
Yeah, yeah, adolescent,
Okay.
teen.
See, adolescent age itself is a very challenging age for all of
Hmm.
us because we go through a lot of changes in our body. So I would say that teen or adolescent with type 1 diabetes, it's an emotional and psychological roller coaster. So
Hmm.
their mood is not same. They are, growing up, a lot of hormones, playing around in their body, looking for independence from the parents, trying to feel same as others, which is actually the right thing. But when they're trying to do, sometimes they pretend they don't have diabetes, try to show that they are also inclusive among their friends group,
Hmm.
and start risk taking behaviors. uh, so yeah, and also this is the time where they start building friends, networking, going out, and also thinking about their future career studies. uh, Pressure from academics, pressure from your puberty and growth, pressure being independent from the parents. So I think that's a very tough age for anybody, but I think by providing the support from the parents and from the peer group and from the clinical team, help them to navigate through the adolescent is what we have to do. It's a
Hmm.
collective effort.
Hmm. Okay. And if type 1 diabetes was a superhero, what would be its superpower?
Right, super for a superhero. The two things I would say: insulin precision strike. So if they can have the ability to strike the insulin
Hmm.
dosing very accurately, timing the insulin, dosing the accuracy, avoiding those unwanted glucose spikes. That's one superpower. And second is nutritional
Hmm.
accuracy or ability to translate their food into the power energy, trying to work out how much they have to eat and how to match their food with the insulin. So if they can achieve these two things as physician as possible, I think that's a superpower for any person with type 1, because many times you don't get a smooth curve. There's always some ups and downs in our levels, but trying to minimize those curves is a superpower.
Hmm. Hmm. So we wrap up our. I had fun doing this rapid fire. Uh, um, if anyone has any questions, please put it on the chat. We can, ask Dr. Santosh to give his perspective. I can imagine that, as Dr. Santosh also said at the start, all the parents are superheroes, right? Unsung superheroes in the life of children. I can imagine what my mother also went through, right, when I got diabetes. So you guys are really doing a great job. But is there any questions that you have? Please feel free to put it on the chat. uh, Dr. While I think we get some questions, would love to kind of have some. I think we discussed a lot of topics across different facets. Would be good to get, three key takeaways that people can, parents or kids can act on starting today, that you feel you would want them to, take away from the session.
Yeah, so I would, ask parents to trust the process of transition care, trust the, I have trust on the child, because they do make mistakes, they learn from mistakes. It's a gradual process. So let it happen, and it will really help the child to grow into an adult and have their own independence. We need to foster that process. Second is, accept diabetes distress is a realistic event, because all of us are human beings. We do go through ups and downs, and I want parents, whenever they feel distressed, please seek for help for themselves, for the family, because many times they ignore and they just suffer themselves inside psychologically, and that will put them into their health risk. So please reach out for help. There are a lot of psychological support out there to help these families. We can also guide them. So I want parents to recognize or identify their own distress and reach out for help, not to hesitate. And third is, knowledge is power. So more you learn about diabetes, your distress will come down, because you can be an expert in your own child's
Hmm.
management. So yeah, so and again, from being guiding, from being doing a
Hmm.
management role, shift to guiding. So as
Hmm.
the time grows, as your child grows, so you need to change your role accordingly. So these are a few of the things I would uh, wish for the parents to take out from our discussion with you.
Hmm. No, manager to supervisor to mentor to backup is something that has really stuck with me. And I think we really enjoyed this session, Doctor. There is just one question from Aparna. Uh, she's asking that is there a possibility to consult you online because they are not in Bangalore? So, any possibility of how do they reach out to you? Number one, maybe how do they reach out to you offline? And if offline is not possible, is there any possibility of contacting you?
Yeah, well, I do I mean online consultations, but again, for diabetes, it will be good to meet one time face to face. But if geographically, if it is very far and not possible, if they can note down my email and write to me, and I can guide them how to, consult me online. It's DOC, uh, Santhosh, my first name, Santhosh at the rate gmail.com.
Hmm.
So, Miss Aparna, you can write to me, and let's see how we can help you. But yeah, but we'll love to physically meet if that's possible, if practically possible. Yeah.
So she just mentioned that she lives in Sydney. So I
Yeah,
so
that's
would
okay. So, yeah,
yeah.
okay, fine. That's fine. You can write to me, and I'll revert back and how we can sort out this. Yeah.
And I believe, doctor, for anyone who wants to kind of consult you in person, like how can they reach out to you on in KEIR or maybe other places that you are consulting?
Yeah. So the best place for, if they're talking about diabetes, the best place will be our institute, Karnataka Institute of Endocrinology and Research. We are there full time, like 9 to 4, 9 to 4:30 maximum. Every day except Sundays, and except second and fourth Saturdays, where we work half a day, 9 to 1. Other days are all 9 to 4, 4:30. There's no appointment system because it's a government institute. They first come first. So anybody who walks in before 4, will make sure we see them, uh, consulting and address to the concerns. The reason I say the institute is best place, because it's not only me there. We have dietitians, we have educators, we have lab, we have other relevant specialities like podiatry, nephrologist, retinal department. So we'll have whatever the child's health needs are there. We can try to provide all the services relevant to the child under one. So I think I would suggest strongly to visit it. If that's not possible, yes, I do visit other private hospitals. But if you Google under my name, you'll find out where all I have my visiting consultation.
No, I think awesome, Dr. Santosh. It was a good chat. I hope last 1 hour was full of wonderful insights to like people who attended, parents, caregiver, and also people living with diabetes. A big thank you to Dr. Santosh for your time and wonderful insights that you gave. And also to Blue Circle team. But if you enjoyed today's workshop, don't forget to follow Blue Circle on various social media handles. You can be up live on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And we also host offline meetups, so you can be part of those groups. We put it on the events tab. We have a WhatsApp group as well, and we will host another relevant session next Sunday. See you then. And thanks, Dr. Santosh, for taking out time.
Yeah, I
Really,
just want to thank. I just want to thank all the viewers who have taken their time to listen to us, and I would like to thank Mr. Shobhit for being my moderator here, and you are also given your good amount of your personal time for this to benefit the community. And Blue Circle Foundation, Miss Newpur, and all her team founder members of the committee were doing great job for empowering and knowledge building for the community with diabetes, and also the viewers who are going to watch this later. Thanks to you all for your time, and hope the share these good things to other families who have not been able to access, and let's help each other to build a better community. And I'm sure all of us have potential to make ourselves a better person every day. So with this, I give my namaskar to all of you.
no, thank you, Doctor. Really appreciate your time and have a wonderful week ahead. And Nupur, thanks for all your support. Uh, Looking forward to having you again, Dr. Santosh. Thanks.
Yeah,
Uh,
pleasure. Bye.